what do you see the situation in Malda here?
I'm standing from Dakhin Malda, South Malda. Situation is improving every day. Got a very good response right from the beginning. I think the voters are making a tactical decision, and especially the minority voters in West Bengal were in 2021. The Congress in Malda and in entire West Bengal lost all its seats, all our MLA seats. But out of fear factor, the factor was this NRC and CAA. But the public feels now this is a manipulation by the ruling parties. Every time an election comes, NRC, CAA, the ruling Trinamool party or BJP starts talking about it. When the election is over, it dies down. The talk about NRC, CAA dies down. So the public has become very wary and thinks now that it's not a serious issue. So they're voting freely from their heart now. So that there's no fear factor this time. Wherever I've been, I've asked people, I've asked voters, I've said, is that an issue? They say, no, we have realized this is an issue to manipulate our vote, use us during the election out of fear to make us vote for one party or another. We're not doing that. We'll vote for the Congress because this is a central election. They also understand that. It's an election, it's the India Alliance versus the BJP. So, and it's not a local issue, it's not a state issue. So they understand it's not a state election, especially women voters also, which we were a bit worried about, that they might get affected by local issues, by these programs that the state government is giving. So they also seem to understand very well that it's a different election, and because of that, we're very lucky that we think that the public is with us, and that the Congress will get through in South Malda where I am standing, and hopefully in North Malda also.
So what are the core issues Congress will be focusing on this time?
You see, the development issues are there all the time that have been there. For example, there's erosion of the Ganges, there is your biri workers, there's migrant laborers. A lot of people from Malda, because there's a lack of employment, lack of industrialization in West Bengal, they have to go outside the state. So that is another big factor. There's not a proper insurance for them. If they go and work outside, they say they get injured while doing a job, manual labor job, then there's no insurance, there's no protection for them. Other issues like roads and that is always there. And there's also another big issue in Malda, which is arsenic water problems. A lot of places in Malda don't have arsenic-free water supply. So these are some big issues. But more than that, this time, you see, without democracy, you cannot have development. And the problem is with the central government being in power now, BJP being in power now, I think people realize that also in Malda, that you must have a democratic government. You must have peace in the country. If the government in power is trying to divide and rule the people of the country, then just for an example, you turn on the television and you'll see things like masjid and mandir. And people are tired of masjid and mandir. They want development work. But the development language of our country is getting replaced by all these communal issues. So the public wants real development, but they realize that you need democracy for that, a healthy democracy, and that is why they're a bit worried. I think that is a big issue for public also to, a lot of people would like to change the Modi government.
We recently came across the Sandesh Khali incident.
Right.
So, and recently the CBI raided and they found many ammunitions and arms. So do you think that this will affect TMC's government in, getting majority here? Or how will it may shape the politics in some other way?
It may, in the sense that, you see, recently there have been a lot of scams in West Bengal, a lot of irregularities. For example, the SSC teachers scam, where it was proven, this is not a political allegation, this has been proved by the court of West Bengal, the High Court, where the High Court took charge of the investigation and found that crores and crores of rupees have been paid in bribes to the West Bengal government for jobs, and the misuse of 100 days work. So all these things in Bengal, these are problems that are there. So the ruling party has taken a dent, for sure. From not even from now, from the Panchayat we've seen even, people are starting to open, their eyes are starting to open to see that this government has a lot of, irregularities in their practices, and there's a lot of scams going on. There are a lot of, basically, the service to the people is not being done. It's being done with money. It's that the government's job is to do free service to people, not to take money and do service. So these have affected the government. Sandagali also will, like you say, will probably affect the government negatively as well. These are in a perception, definitely.
Many leaders claim that TMC is being a terrorist organization. They have all goons in their party. So how do you see this?
Well, we find it very strange that during the election time, the BJP and the TMC shout at each other and make allegations against each other, but they also cooperate with one another. In 2014, when there was the Sarda scam, that was a scam of poor people's money, we saw that the CBI was investigating the Mamta government, and then suddenly it got withdrawn. And then we saw that the Mamta government started walking out in the Rajya Sabha and allowed many bills to pass, which would not have passed otherwise. So on one hand, they shout and fight each other, and on the other hand, they sometimes seem to have understanding, which is very confusing for the public also. And this time also, we don't understand why the Chief Minister of West Bengal did not stay within the alliance. The India alliance is a big alliance. As you know, BJP has 30%, 39% of the vote. That means another 60%, 61% is non-BJP. So the whole idea of the India alliance is to pool together the non-BJP votes with the Congress at the head. And but we're seeing the Chief Minister in Malda a few days ago said, well, she was one of the founders of the India alliance. Then why did she leave the alliance? This is creating a very confusing impression, because she can fight within an alliance in a much better way. Why would she leave the alliance? This is what voters are asking me. Why did she leave? What is her fear? Is there a fear factor for the Trinamool for something? And why did she go on by herself to fight? What is she scared of? This is what voters are asking.
PM Narendra, he is very much believing that this time BJP will get more than 400 seats. So how do you see this? So what do you think about it?
See, the Modi government is very good at publicity and perception management. They've set a goal in the media. They've tried to influence the public through perception. Reality is different. As you know, Modi government has promised many things. For example, 20 crores jobs, 2 crores per year. Now it's 10 years. So we would have seen 20 crores jobs in the country. We don't see any reduction in unemployment for young men and women in the country. The Modi government promised that there would be a price decrease of all prices. In the opposite direction, the last 10 years, all prices have increased. Inflation across the board, in petrol, diesel, food items, everything. So you see, the Modi government is very good at perception management. Reality is not the same. They have not been able to deliver on their promises. So this is another perception they're trying to create, but see how successful. I don't believe they'll cross 400. I think it's just, perception, advertisement, this type of thing of the Modi government.
Said the implementation of CAA by the Modi government will affect these elections, and in which way?
Well, you see, NRC and CAA are not the same thing. First of all, in NRC, see, this is again a fear factor which people have not been explained. There is, the Modi government has never done an NRC in any state. Assam, it was ordered by the Supreme Court of India to carry out NRC, accounting of different groups in the state. And that was because there was a huge mass immigration from Bangladesh to a small state like Assam, which has a small tribal population, native population. So that was an old issue, and that was not done by the BJP. But the BJP used it as a communal issue, as a card that but actually they didn't do NRC. CAA is a totally different issue. CAA is not about throwing people out of the country. It's about bringing people into the country. Yes, we have a problem with it because it should not mention religion, very simply. It should be free for all. If they're going to increase the speed of people getting their papers and documents and immigration, becoming citizens of India, they're shortening the time, I believe, from 12 to 5 years, I think. That's fine. But then it should not mention religion. That is what we're against. Otherwise, CAA is not a problem. You're not throwing anyone out of the country. But you should not mention religion in that. That is our opposition as Congress people.
If people of BJP are attacking the reservation and the constitution, which is wrong. So how do you see this?
Definitely. I mean, the BJP, we feel, just see what the Prime Minister said a few days ago. What he said, I believe, is unconstitutional and against the law of the country. Now, if a normal MP, Rahul Gandhi, I believe, made a comment about people who are named Modi, a very general comment, which is not meant to attack anybody. And he was stripped of his MPship for some time. He had to go to court to fight. Yet the Prime Minister talks openly. A few days ago, he made these very bad communal statements, and there's no punishment. Election Commission has not issued warning directly to him, to his party. He's not been suspended. Nothing has happened to him. So I totally agree. The job of a government of a country is to unite people, is to unite the public, to do development work, and to do service to people. And that's it. The job of the government or a prime minister is not to divide the people of a country. This is unheard of. I mean, this is very serious. This is very scary. And, it's against our constitution for sure. That's just one issue. But I'm just giving you an example.
In Karnataka, like in Devnagari, when PM was addressing a rally, he said that Congress has put a brake on the new education policy in the state of Karnataka, which was framed under the leadership of big scientists and with inputs for more than 20 lakh of people. But to please their vote bank, they have ended the NEP.
I would not know much about. I'm not in that versed in Karnataka politics. Yeah.
Like recently, Bhagwant Mann said that he has traveled, and after first two phase, he says that
The Chief Minister of Aam Aadmi Party.
Punjab.
Okay, right.
The BJP is losing after first two phases. He says that they wouldn't get more, and the India Alliance is getting like 120 to 125 seats.
Okay. See, I'm a politician from Bengal. I obviously keep information about the entire country, but I know more about Malda first, then about West Bengal. But yes, I'm very hopeful that this India Alliance, like I said, pulls together the votes of many different parties and hopefully can increase its seat share. Congress and the India Alliance together can make a bigger dent and even maybe form a government. We don't know. It's a big country, so let's see. Let's hope. We're hoping for the best, and we're hoping people will vote against the divisive policies of the Modi government.
Would you like to comment on Congress President Arvind Singh Labli has resigned today?
These are very local issues again. People in politics resign and join and resign. So it's part of politics. In all states and all places like that.